How often do you rebuild spherical end links? I, I would say it's not something that you need to do unless there's a certain amount of play that you don't like. So at some point, the two rotating components they are wear items that just like any other joint that is in contact with another metal surface. It's probably going to be like every 1 to 2 years, depending on what you do with the car.
Yeah, it's so condition specific and vehicle specific. It's hard
some cars that you might have to do it after 3 months. So like on race cars, these are parts that often get replaced. Every few races, depending on where in the suspension is and how much it's moving. So, like a sway bar end link, which is just kind of acting under compression and not really rotating that much, it's going to last longer. But you have a suspension component that's pivoting, thousands and thousands of times. It's going to wear a lot faster, and then the force is on top of it.
Yeah, people may not realize quite how much movement there is in those joints. It's literally every marble, every piece of gravel you're going over. That's any micro movement of the wheel and tire is directly translated to the sway bar because it's they're linked together.
Yeah.
So,
is it okay to grease the spherical end links?
The actual end links, we typically don't say to grease them. What grease?
I would advise against this because the problem is, so all the sphericals that we offer are Teflon lined. That means there's a very slippery coating of a very durable, low friction material that's adhered to the spherical ball. And that means that there's no metal on metal contact, and this Teflon coating reduces any amount of friction.
Yep.
The problem is when you put grease in there, that tightly tolerant Teflon coating is just going to sweep and squeeze the grease out of the way, and then all that's going to happen is dirt and dust, and abrasive materials will stick to the grease.
Yeah, it becomes an abrasive magnet for these balls.
So if there was a way to keep all the dust and abrasive material off the surface, then grease, I'd say sure.
Right.
So if you could somehow do it inside a boot.
If it's in our booted setup and it's really sealed, but even then it's not, I don't think going to do all that much for you.
So all our boot is designed to do is keep water, moisture, and abrasive materials out of the joints. When you have a boot that does that, you don't need any additional lubrication, and the joint lasts forever. And that is precisely because the joint is already lubricated with Teflon. There are other kinds of ball joints where it's a metal socket type joint, and the grease is the lubricative.
Yes, there are some that are metal on metal or metal on or it's steel on bronze or whatever.
But because of the Teflon lining, and it's a much more expensive bearing and spherical that we use, because of that, you don't need any of that stuff. So it seems like a good idea, but no, it's not required. The only thing you do need to grease is our sway bar bushings.
Yep.
And you want to use a special, it's like a PTFE Teflon type grease. I believe we're going to be adding that to our website soon.
Yeah, we'll have a little kit that has the grease cartridge and a gun.
The gun, but those materials are readily available on Amazon as well. So we don't care where you buy it; just maintain the product. We want you to buy the sway bar. Yeah, but we're not the grease sales gun people, so we don't care where you get it. We'll offer it as a matter of convenience, but it's all out there. So of course we got to get this out of the way.
Yep.
2-step B8 S4 update. I think we have some great news.
Yeah, so that's pretty much wrapped up at this point, it looks like. It's working
on both versions.
Really well on the B8 and B8.5